I like me some gadgets. I like gadgets a lot. In fact, if I had the money, I would be buying gadgets probably every day, but I don't. So I have to kind of scrimp and scrape and get what I can get my hands on. Now, recently I picked up a new phone. Now, I'm not the type of person that has a little cute little flip phones. I like the big gargantuan bricks that can do everything on it, namely a PDA phone or a smartphone. Now, in this case, I got a Sprint Mogul, which is made by HTC. The code name is the HTC Titan, and the model number is the PPC 67 or 6800. 6700 is what I used to have. Alright, so here's the phone, the lovely Sprint Mogul. Has some buttons here on the top. This one right here is to quick check your email and messaging. And there you go. The screen's a little bright, so I don't know how I'm going to zoom here. There you go. Text message, email, and you can set up email accounts. Now, in this particular one, this is one of the nice features of this phone. It is Windows Mobile 6.1 Professional. Professional means it has a touch screen, so I can touch on the screen and do things. The other nice thing about this is that if your company uses Exchange, then you can sync, and they have Outlook Web Access set up, then you can synchronize your phone with Exchange and you can check your work email here on your phone. Now, that's good and bad, granted, but you know, I enjoy it. I like it. I use it all the time. This other button here opens up Internet Explorer, nice and quick. Now, this is Internet Explorer Mobile, and I don't like Internet Explorer Mobile, so I use other browsers, which I'll show one of them here in just a minuto. And then down here you have a 5-way thumb pad, which is up, down, left, right, and then a center button. You have an OK button. If you look at the top here, almost every single one has an OK button up there. You have your Windows button. You press this and it pulls up your menu no matter what program you're in. Push it again and it goes away. This is to make a phone call. This is to hang up a phone call. And these little dots right here are for the little menu options down here, which by default are calendar and contacts. Two commonly used things. Now, this is designed more of a business phone that you can turn into an entertainment device. It does have some entertainment stuff built in, but anyway. One of the nice features on this versus the 6700 that replaced is it has a little thumb wheel over here. Now, if you look here as I turn the wheel, my select goes up and down, and then if I push down on an item, say I'm going to go look at my wireless settings, I press on the wheel and it will actually select that, which is a nice little feature. And then it has the OK button right here, which is basically used to close programs. You click on this right here and it will that's the record button for if you want to do like a voice recording. And this right here is a nice touch. It's a slider to turn off and on Wi-Fi. So if you want to save battery power, you can turn off the Wi-Fi radio on your battery power and your battery lasts longer. On the other side here, we have our stylus that can pull out, and it's nice and hidden. There's no antenna sticking out. This is a camera button right here. You hold this down for about 3 to 5 seconds and you can go and take pictures. Speaking of the camera, it is 2 megapixel. The camera's back here. It actually takes pretty good pictures. Now, one of the fun things about this is it has a built-in flash. This is a little high-powered LED light back here, and you can use that to illuminate something you're trying to take a picture of. Now, one of the fun programs you can get is something called Flashlight. Yes, you can turn this into a flashlight. So you turn on your flashlight program and that little LED turns into a light that you can use to illuminate where you're walking. Now, this has 2 different settings. There's flashlight, which leaves it on as long as you want, and then flashlight 30, which is what I just selected, and it leaves the light on for 30 seconds. You can manually turn it off by clicking the flashlight button again, or just let it time out. Because it's Windows Mobile, there is a plethora of programs that you can get for this. You can stream YouTube on this, you can listen to music, you can watch movies, you can pretty much do just about everything. Now, this is an older phone. It's still being sold. It retails for about $500. If you get it with a contract, it goes down to about $200, $250. So it's not too bad. This is one of the great features of it, the slide-out QWERTY keyboard. Now, I know lots of people like the touch keyboard on the screen. I hate it because I have big fingers, big fat fingers, and I can't use those keyboards for the life of me. I like my slide-out QWERTY. Now, it has the little function key down here. You can't really see here, but there's these blue ones here, and those are for page up, delete, and for optional things like question marks and ampersands and percent signs and quotes and stuff like that. So this is slightly different from the previous layout. It does have the Windows button, the OK. It has your two menu selections here. One of the nice things about this is it has the number pad in the middle. So you can hold down this and you can type in numbers right here, and it's a lot easier than thumbing through the numbers up here at the top like it was before. It also has some symbols here for those who are typing in languages that are not English. Right. So, and then a quick key to your File Explorer. Now, because this is Windows Mobile, it also has another nifty feature called Office Mobile, which is Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. I don't know if I can zoom in on this well. So you can actually review or modify, create, review, whatever, your Microsoft Office documents. Now these are full-featured versions of them, or Excel's not completely full-feature, and PowerPoint, obviously you don't want to use it too much because it's a small screen, but Word Mobile, they support all the Office 2007 formats, so you can use XLS files, or XLSX files, and DocX, and PPTX files, which is very nice. Now, on to more of the Sprint portions of this phone. Verizon has a version of this phone, Sprint has the version of the same phone, basically the same HTC model with some slight differences. One of the differences, this is an EVDO Revision A phone, so you get a lot better speeds. That also means you can talk while you're doing something with the data at the same time. So say you're streaming audio, you're not going to miss any phone calls because you can talk and stream data at the same time. So say you can check your email while you're talking to someone on the phone, etc., etc. That's one of the nice features. Now, one of the good features of this versus the Verizon phone is that the GPS is not disabled, which is a big bonus. Now what that means is, with Verizon, if you want to be able to do some sort of GPS application, your only option is to use VZ Navigator. With the Sprint version of the phone, all you have to do is go download a free application like, I don't know, Google Maps or Windows Live Mobile, and then you can, once it loads up here, you can go to Menu, Use GPS. You see up here, it's seeking your GPS satellites. Now I'm inside, so I don't know how well this is going to work. But outside, this works fantastically, where I can use Google Maps on my phone to navigate around using the GPS. And there we go. That's where I'm at. Right there. Right there. Alright. Isn't that cool? I love technology. Pain points. Now, I live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't get a very good signal from anybody. My wife has a different carrier, and she doesn't get a good signal. And I have Sprint, and I don't get a good signal. So that's one of the cons of this is, I guess it's any new phone is, there's no external antenna, and so the signal it's better than my old phone, but I wouldn't say it's fantastic. I still get a good reception in most places. But, the farther away you get from the city, the reception's not as good. And that's kind of a Sprint thing, and it depends on your roaming lists and your roaming plans and things like that. What I do like about this phone is the HTC PDA phones are kind of like the Swiss Army knives of the world. The iPhones, they're nice and they're fun, they're entertaining, but they're just not as... they're just not as dynamic. You can't do as much with them because Apple locks out so much of the phone. And this, you can pretty much do everything. I mean, you can turn it into a flashlight. The best the iPod can do is make your screen go white. Oh boy. Now, granted, the flashlight features, kind of a silly thing to compare it to. But overall, I like the kind of phones that I can mess with. For example, iPhone, you don't have an external SD card slot. On this, I can plug in an 8 gigabyte SD card or 16 gigabyte, and I can go up or down, as much as I want. It plugs into standard USB. It has IR on it, and so, I don't know. But that's just my opinion. Oh, yes. And I can replace my own battery. Yeah, 1500 milliamp hours right there, baby. You can also get what's called an oversized battery, and they have a different back plate on it. This is one of my pet peeves about it, is this back plate right here is very flimsy. But that's okay. You can get an extended battery. It makes it a little bit bigger. It bubbles out there. But then you can get a battery that's, I think they go up to close to 3,000 milliamp hours. And this sucker you only have to plug in and charge like once a week at 3,000 milliamp hours. The battery life on this is excellent. Talk time is about 3 hours on it. And that's 3 hours steady. And standby time, about 3 or 4 days at the most. depending on how much data and other stuff you're doing with it. I think that pretty much covers the basics. This is one of the cool programs I've been playing with. It's called Skyfire. It's a web browser, and it's pretty fun. But my personal favorite web browser, and I promised I'll show you this to you. Let me go to my programs real quick. Now, this doesn't come with one of those cool, slick 3D interfaces that you see a lot of the other new phones have. You can get a third-party one that has kind of a touchscreen interface to it where you can slide around and get to places. Now, the next version of this phone, I should say the newer version of this phone, which is the HTC Touch Pro, that does have the slick 3D interface. So if you have the extra cash to get a Touch Pro, then you'll probably want to look into that, because it's like this sucker on steroids. And it looks really slick too. Alright, so this is Opera Mini. Opera Mini is my favorite. Now, Opera Mini is a Java-based. There's one that's designed for Windows Mobile that's called Opera Mobile. But if you get this, but as long as your phone has Java installed, you can use this. Now, they always go to New York Times on all their ads. NewYorkTimes.com. Right. Now, one of the fun things that all of the Windows people always laughed at whenever they showed the iPhone commercials. They started showing, oh look, you can surf the web and touch and move around and zoom in and out. And we're like, yeah, we've had that in Opera Mini for a long time. Oh look, I can zoom. Oh look, I can move around. Oh look, I've been doing this for a year before the iPhone came out with it. Alright, that was enough of my iPhone rant. I'm sure you guys are sick of it by now. So, this is the Sprint Mogul. If you're looking for a good PDA phone that's not going to break the bank, I highly recommend this. It comes with 256 megabytes of RAM, and of the usable space, you get about 200 megabytes that you can use. One of the other nice things about this is if you're not scared to do customized ROMs, you can go out on the web. There are some websites that you can do custom ROMs, custom applications on it. You can do all sorts of fun things with it, because it is the Swiss Army knife of phones, and I highly recommend it for those people who like to tweak and play and don't care about being on the beatnik edge of fashion. Alright, that's my review. Bye.